2 Chapter 2. You are listening at FameTV.info. What the fuck just happened? Clark Coulter, the recent transmigrator, moaned in pain. The last thing he remembered was a huge truck falling down his head, and then poof, he awoke in the bumpy dream of this moment. I was always wary of the infamous truck. Cohen in highways, but little did I know that I would die being serviced with the same cliché. TSK. Is this paradise? Clark tried opening his eyes but realized quickly that he couldn't. It was as if he was trying to lift a whole world rather than just his eyelids at the moment. After a few seconds, he gave up on even attempting the futility of it and focused on the chaotic waves that rocked his world in frenzy. It felt like someone or something was jumping up and down his body over and over again. This sensation. Shit. This familiar experience was quite unmistakable above all others. Of course, as a young hot-blooded male, he had already experimented with his faculties, but this particular glove differed to the roughness of his hands that he was so used to in the past. The thing that has sloppily accommodated his raging tool was wet and tight to the extreme. It was heavenly and beyond compare to anything this young Clark has ever felt before. Is this what I think it is? Clark's broken thoughts pierced along the new delights he was put under. Hello, he tried talking but found no voice of his that followed his bidding. He laid there as a passive taker to whatever this woman was giving him. And it was indeed a hell of an epic ride. But what if it's a mob? Clark was horrified that in the advanced age and civilization he was from, where freedom and opinions were abundant, so did the crusade and rise of the other sexes. In truth, he also had some gay friends who relished their liberation openly and with pride. Although Clark respected the select breed of men and women, but he was through and through a perfect heterosexual male in the end. If his addiction in games has not blinded him from all the sexy women who threw their coquettish beauty his way, then there was no doubt that he would have long lavished plainly upon a feminine sea of bliss. That should have been Clark's next obsession. To be the best and most accomplished playboy of all time. Unfortunately, some things were not meant to be, as his life was cut short before he could truly enjoy the pleasures of what could have been. An hour and 30 minutes passed and the boat has yet to dock. Clark had already come 2 times, yet his eager passenger was still not content in the drive towards that faraway heaven. He could only feel the ever-tightening and grasping motions of whatever held his sword blade down south, and at times, this sheath would tremble and spasm violently to his amazement. Here's the third one. Clark roared in his thoughts. Boink. Boink. Boink, and not a breath later, he deposited copious amounts of life-giving liquid unto this wanton driver above him. Why am I still as hard as ever? Clark noticed that not only his manhood remained in a stubborn salute, but it has also surprisingly turned even potent and strong even after the 3 bombs he'd cast. It stood there exactly like an immortal sentinel of the realms. Brave and unbending. Oh, a new sound broke Clark's inner turmoil. He could feel 2 huge twin mountains flattened on his chest and a hot sultry breath fan on his ears. Did I make you happy, Master Lou? A female voice asked. Then an agonizing pain sauntered forth thereafter. Clark's head seemed to burst with all the additional information that tried to burn itself onto his skull. The process took only 5 minuscule seconds, but that was an eternity in comparison to Clark's experience. A full 100 years to be exact. Oh holy fuck. Have I transmigrated? Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.